Today we're going to talk about being a first observer and being prepared, not scared. The reason they bring school bus drivers into this is because you do the same routes every day. You see the same things in the community or industrial areas or wherever your route goes, and you would probably recognize if something was a little bit out of whack or if there were people that were hanging around and taking pictures and different things like that.
Hello and welcome to First Observer. I want to welcome those of you that are here with us in the classroom and those of you that are watching on video. My name is Jeff Beatty, and I'll be walking you through the First Observer program today. First Observer is about keeping America safe. It's about terrorism and how can we prevent it. How do we each do our part? I'm here as your guide through this program today because I have some experience in working against terrorism. I'm a former Delta Force officer in the Army. I was a special agent of the FBI advising the FBI's National Hostage Rescue Team. And I was a CIA counterterrorism officer with half a dozen years in Europe and the Middle East working against this target. And I can tell you that the things we're going to talk about in First Observer today will work and will help us keep America safer against the threat of terrorism. Now, I'm going to do my best not to read slides to you today. I'll let you read them for yourself. But I want you to take a look at this slide and pick out what we think are the three most important words on it. It shouldn't be too difficult. It's observe, assess, and report. That's what we want from our first observers. So who should be first observers? Well, obviously all of you with us here today should be first observers. It's people who are involved in surface transportation, people who are involved in law enforcement. These are the core groups, the people that make up the core domains of our surface transportation system. And you're going to see today how First Observer is a mutually supportive program that keeps us all safer. You know, the strength of a program like First Observer is in its numbers. All of us taking part, doing what we can do to take our eyes and ears and report on what just doesn't look right in an environment that we know like the back of our hands. And that's what we want to do here. And our strength is in our numbers. When we get hundreds of thousands of us trained up to make those reports, we are going to defeat terrorism. So how does First Observer work? Well, take a look at this diagram. You'll see in the upper left we start with you, the most important component, the first observer. Now, we are not replacing the 911 system. We have a great 911 system in this country that gets first responders there where they're needed fast. But what we are doing is we're complementing this system. You'll notice on the chart that if a first observer sees something that's a criminal activity or imminent danger, follow it straight down below to where you see law enforcement. Make that 911 call. We aren't replacing that, we're augmenting it. And here's how we're augmenting it. Look across the top of the chart, going from left to right. You'll see the call center in the upper right there. Now this is where we want you to call in things like someone taking pictures of the underside of a bridge. That's not a 911 call, but it sure is suspicious. It's not normal, and we need to know about it. What will happen then is the people in the call center will take that report, take your report, and they'll put it all together, send it immediately to a place we call the Information Sharing and Analysis Center, and that's over in the lower right-hand corner of the chart. People in the Information Sharing and Analysis Center represent government agencies, FBI, CIA, Secret Service, but they also represent industry, people who know the surface transportation industry. And what they do is they give real context to your report, to your observation. And then from the ISAC, look where the information goes. It goes over to law enforcement with context so that they can understand the true importance of this observation. And it also goes to relevant organizations. Perhaps your company, your organization will get an alert from the ISAC.
Well, here you see the definition of terrorism. I'm not going to read all the slides. I'll let you read them just like he said. So the different types, hijacking, bombing, diplomatic, kidnapping, and assassination. Short of hijacking, I'm hoping we never have to deal with any of the rest of them. Hijacking, on the other hand, could be homegrown or be a terrorist.
It's Jim. Sorry to call so early. Yeah, as a supervisor on call, I need to tell you that when I came in this morning, I thought I saw something in the yard. No, there wasn't anything there, but somebody had forced one of the buses open. 423. No, nothing was taken, but there was a small box up underneath one of the seats. No, I didn't touch it. It's still there. No, there weren't any wires or sound or anything. It was just a box. Yeah. Yeah, I do think it warrants getting the police out here to check the thing out. Okay. Okay, I'll give the bus a full inspection and then I'll quarantine it till the police get here.
Good morning, Jim.
Morning, Charlene. I can't let you take 423 this morning. It's quarantine. I found a small box underneath one of the passenger seats. Samantha called the police and they came and checked the whole bus out. Police said it was some sort of a short-range radio jamming device. Why anybody'd want to put a radio jammer on a school bus? You're going to be in 846 today.
Okay, thank you, Jim. We're on 846 to base for a radio check.
I'm clear, 846.
10-4, 846 clear. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
No.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
My kid forgot his
I'm
lunch.
sorry you can't get on the bus.
Be quiet. Put your hands on the wheel.
Move to the back of the bus.
Relax.
Sit still and be quiet.
Everything will be just
okay.
fine. No problem.
Come on, let's move it.
Okay.
Still.
Drive. Now.
Quiet.
Let's go.
Be quiet.
Oh, here's the bus. Hey!
Why anybody'd want to put a radio jammer on a school bus?
is this the school administration? Well, I'm standing here on the corner. Bus just drove by.
Hey, this is Alan Tompkins, and my kid's bus just went by and didn't even stop.
Magnolia ISD, how may I help you?
Hi, can I talk with someone about something strange that happened on my daughter's school bus this morning?
I'll direct your call. Please hold.
Thank you.
District Dispatch, how may I help you?
Hi, this is Carolyn Johnson, and this morning when my daughter got on the school bus, 2 men got on as well. Is that allowed?
Normally not. And I don't have an immediate explanation. There are certain circumstances where a parent or legal guardian can ride the bus with a child. Let me investigate the situation, and I'll call you back and see what I found out. What was the bus number on that one?
Yes, it's bus number 423. And thanks. I just thought it was really strange the way those 2 guys got on there.
Yeah, and oh, let me get a number where I can reach you.
Sure, it's 555-1213.
Okay, thank you. And I will get back to you. Thanks for your patience.
What is your emergency?
Yes, this is Jonathan at the school district's dispatch office. I think we have a situation developing here. Here's all the information as I know it now. This morning, police removed a radio jamming unit from bus number 423. That bus was quarantined. A mother just called me to inform me that 2 unknown men got onto the bus that replaced that bus.
It's time for me to check in.
Lake and 53rd. Jonathan with the school district's dispatch office. I need to speak to the operations manager.
Operations Manager Samantha Cole here.
Yes, we have a situation developing, and I have called 911. As the situation is now, here's the information that I have confirmed. This morning, a radio transmitter was removed from the bus.
Okay, everyone, out of the bus. Stop the engine. Give me the keys right now. Okay, everyone, out of the bus.
Move it.
You watch that. Watch. Okay.
Be quiet.
Let's go. Yeah. Sit this right there.
Let's stop moving.
911, what is your emergency? 911, what is your emergency? Okay, put him in the back room inside the cage. Right now, and be quiet, everyone.
Go. Move it.
Are we going to move the bus soon?
Right now.
Drive.
To elementary school.
All available units, we have a possible hostage situation involving a school bus. Be on the lookout for bus number 846, whereabouts unknown. Suspect should be considered armed and dangerous. The vehicle's on the move and its destination is believed to be the elementary school.
This is Samantha Cole, Operations Manager. I need to speak with Principal Hopkins right away.
This is Principal Hopkins.
Principal Hopkins, this is Samantha Cole, Operations Manager. We have information that a bus has been hijacked.
How much do you know at this point?
Yes, we may need to begin arrangements for a possible evacuation.
How many children are on the bus?
We aren't sure, but there may be between 4 and 6.
Yes, I understand.
Yes, sir?
We have a situation developing. Please inform the department heads that we may need to evacuate this school. We'll use the same plan as for a fire emergency. So tell the staff to prepare for a fire drill.
Sir. So the bus will be coming from this direction. We're going to place 2 cars in the front to block the main entrance.
We have plans to evacuate the building to a location about 300 yards in the opposite direction.
I suggest you do that now.
Okay. This is Principal Hopkins. We'll need to evacuate the building now.
All available units, we have a possible hostage situation involving a school bus. Be on the lookout for bus number 846, whereabouts unknown.
Watch your speed and watch the traffic laws. Do you hear me?
Suspect should be considered armed and dangerous. The vehicle is on the move and its destination is believed to be the elementary school.
8531 to Conroe. I have a visual on that school bus. It'll be southbound on Nickel Sawmill.
Dispatch to Unit 8531, do not intercept the vehicle. Maintain visual only.
That's clear, Conroe. Show me a route.
It's working? How? Hey, what are you doing? Come on, sit in the back. Get on the ground. Get on the knees. Got the weapon. Get on the knees. Hands behind your head. Hands behind your head. Stand up. Secure. Look out. Coming down.
Have they found my kids yet? Are they okay?
Keep your head down, head down!
The story you've just watched could have ended far differently. But thanks to awareness, preparedness, and teamwork, a frightening situation did not become a tragic situation. Awareness on the part of the bus mechanic defeated a key element of the hijacking plan early on. An alert parent immediately notified the school about unusual events at the bus stop, starting the emergency response process. The bus dispatcher, school administrators, and teachers swiftly took the right actions based on their security plan. And the bus driver's calm and deliberate behavior helped to resolve a terrifying situation without violence. It's important to mention that the driver took a number of courageous defensive actions that may not always be possible or desirable during a real attack. Some of the things she did might actually raise the danger level by antagonizing and frustrating the hijacker. In a real attack, the driver will have to judge how far he can go without risking harm to his or herself, their bus, and the passengers. Hopefully, the awareness training drivers receive in this program will help them make these critical judgments in the best interest of their own safety and that of their passengers. Training, awareness, and planning allowed this school to avoid a catastrophe. Now, what about your school system? How do you think the story would end if a similar incident occurred on one of your buses? If you believe there's no risk of a security threat against school buses, consider this. Every day, 25 million children across the United States ride buses. Recent world events have shown us that international terrorists make no distinction between civilian and military targets. In fact, some terrorist groups have shown their willingness to use children in schools as targets. In addition to transporting children to and from school, buses frequently take trips to public buildings, national monuments, and other significant destinations. School buses used as terrorist weapons clearly have enormous potential to cause destruction and loss of life. None of us likes to imagine the possibility that our school buses could become the targets of a security threat. But the facts are unambiguous. Buses are vulnerable to attack by hijackers, suicide bombers, and remotely detonated explosive devices. Bus operations, including school buses, have been and will continue to be targets of those who use violence to promote their agendas. That's reality. But accepting reality doesn't mean living in fear. By applying the awareness and knowledge you'll gain in this training program, you can reduce the threat of security incidents on school buses. Being alert for potential problems can prevent many dangerous situations from ever happening. Having a transportation security plan in place allows school personnel and parents to respond properly if a crisis does occur. By working together, you can take the right actions to keep your public school transportation system safe for all your children.
So as he talked about, there could be a terrorist from out of country. In the next two things that we're going to look at, these were homegrown terrorist hijackers. Joyce Gregory was one that had one of her students that was very upset because she suspended him. I'll let you read what this article says to kind of see what happened with him and how it can happen to anybody. Some things could have stopped this. A week before the hijacking in Alabama on January 23rd in Kansas City, Missouri, a school bus driver refused to allow an unknown person on the bus and drove away. That suspect began shooting at the bus. No one was hurt, but he probably prevented a hijacking. The next one that we're going to talk about is Charles Poland. You may remember 7 years ago, a little over 7 years ago, he was the driver that was befriended by one of the people that was along his route. He had to do a turnaround, and the gentleman was very nice to him, built an area that he could turn the bus around in, and made it so that it was easier for him to turn around and head back into town. And then he decided, Jimmy Lee Dykes, he decided that he wanted to use it for a bad purpose. And he built up a mound so that when the bus got turned around, it would stop at that mound, and he blocked off the front and wanted to take a couple kids hostage. He did take a 5-year-old boy hostage and took him into a bunker, an underground bunker. And unfortunately, because the driver had tried to resist letting him have that child, he killed the driver.
All right, we want to take you back to this breaking news situation right now that is unfolding in Midland City, Alabama, where a child was taken off a bus by a man with a gun who shot their bus driver. We heard this whole tale as it was told by one of the little girls who was on the bus. We want to listen to this brand new audio that we have of the police scanner while this unfolded. Listen to this.
Central 26-4, everybody's a child they were moved from the bus. For suspect is removing child from the bus. That's 10-4. Everybody's that a child is there taken from the bus trying to get a direction to travel.
Unbelievable. Sergeant Rachel David is the spokeswoman for the Dothan Police Department, and she joins us now. Sergeant, thank you for being with us. I know that you have a very active situation on your hands right now. What's the latest in all of this?
We do. Thank you for having us. Well, as you know, we did respond to a call for service. The call came in yesterday at 3:36 p.m. Initial early reports were of a shooting involving a school bus. Now, on early arrival, authorities did confirm that there was one fatality, and limited information was given beyond that at that time. Certainly, we have multiple agencies on scene that are working in a joint effort to bring this situation to a quick resolution. We have now evacuated the immediate area around the incident where the command post is located. Additionally, we have worked very hard to keep the information flowing, but again, early in an investigation, our number one priority is the safety of the public. We have just released that the confirmed victim was the school bus driver. We extend our deepest sympathies to that family. We have confirmed the identity of the victim as 66-year-old Charles Albert Poland Jr. Mr. Poland was employed by the Dale County Board of Education in 2009 and was acting in official duties yesterday when fatally shot. Unfortunately, just a tragic situation and one that we are still working to resolve.
Yeah, Sergeant, I mean, your heart breaks for that man's family. As you say, 66 years old, been driving that bus for about 4 years. And the story that one of the little girls told was that this man got on the bus and said to the bus driver something to the effect of, "I need a child." And he said no. And then he was shot. So, I mean, he truly is a hero. He was trying to protect the children on his bus. He said absolutely not, or whatever, his response was. He said no, according to that eyewitness.
So the question is could the bus driver have done anything that would have prevented this? Things you can do. Don't be on autopilot. Notice your surroundings, identify risks, limit risks, protect the children at all costs. Don't open the door, force people to talk to you through the windows. Look for vehicles that might be rehearsing. Also develop a plan. We have plans for evacuations, we have plans for a lot of things, so you could develop a plan on what would happen if you needed it like this. This talks about who you should look for. Anybody. It doesn't matter race, creed, religion, sex, background, whatever. Anybody could be a suspect. What makes someone suspicious? All of these items here are things that if they were happening, then you should report them to somebody. What should you look for? Same thing here. These items are things that if they happen on your route and they just don't feel right, like the previous screen said, trust your gut and make sure you talk to somebody about it or report it. If you do happen to get hijacked, whether it is from somebody that you know, like one of the students, or from somebody you don't know, you want to always stay calm. You want to be able to, if your district has a code, use that. Don't pick up any more passengers, like you saw in the video. And the driver in that video, she didn't get anybody else. She was very calm. She kept telling her kids that they were going to be okay. You want to keep reminding them that. Mentally prepare yourself that when it's over, you are going to be considered a suspect, because everybody is until they find out who the real person is.
Take a look at this slide that shows the different phases of the terrorist operation. And understand that for a terrorist to be successful, they have to be undetected and successful at each one of these stages. But for us to be successful, how many of these operational acts do we need to detect? Exactly, only one. Just one that we detect enables us to prevent a terrorist attack.
So why school buses? Easy access, relatively unguarded. We pick up kids. We usually only have one adult on it. Anybody could access it at our stop. Large number of potential children, schools are everywhere, pulls at the heartstrings of America, definitely. There are countries that the kids they'll use their kids as a target, but not in America. So if it should happen here, then it would be a big concern and a big deal. Where to start? Making sure you do the pre-trip is important. Make sure you do a complete pre-trip. All these things listed here are part of a pre-trip, and double check it that you have checked everywhere. If you happen to go like on a field trip, let's say you go to the museum downtown, before you go to pick up the kids, if you've been away from your bus, make sure you do all this again, because some of these things could be accessible to people even though your bus is locked.
Now there are several categories or subjects within security awareness. Let's take a minute to talk about each one. People in this industry have a very good reputation when it comes to safety and doing their safety inspections, their pre-trips, before you put the vehicle into service. Well, now we also have to add something to that pre-trip. We have to do security sweeps. It's just talking about a few places on the vehicle where threat material could be concealed. You see some of them listed here. Can you think of any others? Our job is not only to make sure that the vehicle is technically sound, but also that no one has put any threat material on this vehicle that could harm our students. So in the conduct of your pre-trip inspection, let's say that you do find a suspicious package. Think about it. What are your actions? Well, you know, school buses are welcome everywhere. They're welcome at national historical sites, at icons, at sporting events, but that also means that we have a potential security problem. So when you go to a security event or a special event, a school trip, and you're using the school bus to transport our pupils, if you leave that vehicle unattended for any period of time, what do we have to do? Well, we have to come back and redo that security sweep. When it comes to route security awareness, stay alert. Be aware of vehicles that might be shadowing you. Report detours if they seem unusual to you. If someone wants to stop and access the vehicle, law enforcement for example, make sure you get proper identification before you allow them to get on board the vehicle. And if you're in doubt, call your dispatcher. Follow your local procedure as to who is allowed and who is not allowed to get on your vehicle. So let's say you do have a suspicious vehicle following you. What are we going to do?
I've had a car following me for a while on my route.
Well, you know, there always may be an innocent explanation, but it could be a casing activity. It could be a rehearsal activity. It could even be an actual operation about to go down.
It's followed all the way down Eagle Drive onto the Bruno parking lot.
I will call another emergency number for you.
10-4, thank you.
Well, what is some of the information we want to be able to capture about this suspicious vehicle? Well, certainly, if we can get the make and model, if we can get a tag number, if we can get a description of the people inside the vehicle, inform dispatch as to what you're seeing. Make a call to the call center. Again, do it in a safe way. If you think that there's an imminent threat, of course, you call your dispatch and 911 if the threat is very real and very imminent. You know, at bus stops, the good news is you know who is normally there. You know who sticks out if there's somebody there that shouldn't be there. So we want to be alert to that. We want to be ready to report that. You know, if the children boarding the bus report to you that, hey, there's this strange individual over there, that is not anything to be ignored for a variety of reasons. Depending on your local procedure, you're going to call dispatch, and we certainly want to know about these suspicious activities in the call center. All right, so when your bus is parked, here's where we're going to conduct those pre-trip inspections and those post-trip inspections too, to make sure nothing's left behind. Again, a bus parking area that we use every day, we're certainly going to check things when the bus is there, and we're also going to check it when it's in a temporary bus parking area if we're on a school trip or at another special event.